What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. I got a new model in from CJRB. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, we have a new model, as I mentioned, from CJRB. This is the Locust, a new locking button lock. This one with thumb disc, a very low profile blade in the closed position, has like that pill-shaped body to it. You do have steel liners internally with shred carbon fibers and aluminum bolsters. Thumb disc works very well on here. You got a beautiful spear point blade shape on here, and I believe this one, yep, this one coming in S90V. Very thin blade stock on here, even where the flat grind comes to a peak, very thin, and then it thins back out here with that swedge. So I do like that a lot. The gold accents are very cool looking against the black. I don't mind that too much. I normally wouldn't go for that. I just wish there would have been a way that they could have done the standoffs in that same gold coating, or they could have blacked it out to match the pocket clip. I think either would have been a little bit of a nicer touch on this particular one for me. The button works very well. It is tuned well for the detent. I think it also helps that the disc is way below the actual pivot here. So that is a nice bonus because it does make it feel like it has a little bit of a detent for that opening as well. As I mentioned, it does have this secondary lock here, or this locking system here, and that kind of locks it closed, and it'll lock it in the open position so you don't accidentally hit that button. It'll keep the knife nice and secure there so that it doesn't disengage accidentally. Now, it does have a little bit of play. So again, this more or less is meant as a safety measure, I feel, for this particular knife. Took it down to the garage, did a little bit of cutting with this one, and man, it does have a very thin, slicey geometry to it. Very nice factory edge on it as well. Love to see that CJRB is doing a good job with that. And then because it is a spear point, it does work well in those detailed cut positions. Very easy to control and easy to drive down into the tip. I will say with the swedge, when I was pushing down a little bit with the index finger and indexing, it does feel a little sharp, but it isn't anything horrible. I could just tell when I was trying to push the power down into it, I could really feel that. Action on here is very nice. It is definitely riding on ceramic bearings, and there has been no play side to side or up and down that has developed since I've had it in my particular hands. I also want to mention here that it does have a nice reversible milled titanium pocket clip. This one's done very well, and it does go in and out of the pocket nicely. So kudos to CJRB for getting that right. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons, and then we'll weigh the knife. All right, so on the table is what I had in my pocket today, which is the Arcform Theory, more full-sized knife. And then you have the Quiet Carry 9, which is more of a medium-sized EDC. And as you can tell, it's a little bit smaller than the Quiet Carry 9, but without a huge scallop section, I am able to easily get a good four-finger grip on here. And with these steel liners and the scales on top, they are contoured slightly, but it does give a nice hand-feeling experience, which I do really appreciate as well. Let's do some additional size comparisons. All right, so here it is against my SOG Power Pint. You guys know I love that. And the Mini Benji, which is from Tack Knives. I really like that. Nice little fifth pocket option. I just wanted some small stuff to kind of show you, again, to compare it to. That's not just another pocket knife. Here it is against the SOG Power Pint opened. Let's do a couple more items, and then we'll weigh the knife. All right, here it is against my Raylight Land Apple and my Tactile Turn Mini that I did anodize myself. Does have kind of like that oil spill look to it. But again, just a couple of EDC items that I thought would be cool to check out as a size comparison, as opposed to just throwing a bunch of different knives out on the screen. Let's go ahead and grab the scale and check the weight out on the Locust. All right, we got the scale out and on. Full steel liners with scales and aluminum bolsters and a titanium clip, but steel hardware. I think this is probably going to be a little bit over 3.5 ounces. Surprisingly not. It's actually 3.3 ounces. Love to see that. I was really fooled. I thought it was going to be a little bit heavier. So not a bad weight at all. It's going to carry nice in the pocket. It's going to be nice in the hands, not going to feel super heavy. So good job. All right, final thoughts and impressions on the Locust. It gives a very gents-esque vibe. There are multiple colors and variants out there for you to check out. If you're so interested, definitely recommend that you do so. I love that it has the titanium pocket clip and filler tab. So when you remove the actual scale here, you'll be able to get down into the filler tab. Sorry, I'm saying the scale, I meant the liner. You'll be able to get into that filler tab. So it'll disassemble from this side. There's a screw that's holding that filler tab in, and that'll be able to get that out. Again, action's good. I like the thumb disc on this. I'm really surprised. I'm not normally big on thumb disc, but I really do like that because it accomplishes a couple of things. It allows you to get this blade tucked in nice and tight into that pill-shaped body. It does have very aggressive jimping on there, so you're not going to slip off of here. It is very satisfying to deploy, so I love to see all of that from CJRB. The little minor things on here, I'm not a huge fan of how this lock system works. It pushes out real easily. What I would like to see, just a little bit of a cutout, and it kind of sit proud a little bit, so that it's kind of not present when you're engaging and interacting with the knife. Right now, it just it's proud and you kind of feel it. I wish that the scale was a little bit more contoured over here, and it again just had the cutout sort of like you do when you see a normal plunge lock. You have that little kind of groove here, and then it wouldn't be as apparent that that's where the lock system is. Also, it's a little close to the button. I know if you hit it by accident, there's no risk of really anything happening there. You're just going to lock it out, even if you didn't mean to, and it's an accident. It's not something that I think is going to be a deal breaker for you if you're trying to, lock or unlock it. So not a huge deal on there. All right, I grade on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the lowest. Things that go into account for that are going to be build quality, materials offered for price and performance, the ergos, and of course the aesthetics, which is a little subjective on my part. For me, I think it's a very clean knife. I do think that there are a lot of upgrades offered on this knife, but it does give kind of a budget feel to me the way that this is constructed with the steel liners. A lot of steel hardware on here. I love that it has the S90V and the shred carbon fiber. And again, there are other variants out there to check out. So for me, I still would say this kind of is one of those weird ones that it starts life out as a budget knife, and then it kind of works its way into premium territory because it does have the premium steel. And then you got, again, some shred carbon fiber with a titanium pocket clip. Having said all of that, this one here for me is hitting at a 6.7. Nice solid score, not anything earth-shattering or anything that's going to really score lowly because it is built well. And as I mentioned, the construction on here is good. I wish they would move to like either a button liner lock like some brands have, or they would just move to a top liner lock system. And it could be that they'll get there eventually. CJRB is never really one to jump onto the latest trend. They usually do a fairly good job of kind of working things out and then getting to that. But good looking knife, solid price. I think it'd be really good again for daily carry, and would even flex into the gent roll depending on what type of loadout that you have for this. Let me know what you think about the Locust down in the comments. If you're interested, I do have affiliate links, and those links help the channel when you use them. That is totally up to you. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated, and consider subscribing if you're not subscribed. Love to have you follow along. Special shout out and thanks to my channel members out there. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Hope you have a great week. Catch you next time. Peace.